It is Thursday. Welcome. My name is Dr. T. Tanya Uester, and I'm live from my page Botanicamy. And today is an incredibly exciting day because it is my 101st episode of my weekly Thursday live. So welcome. I'll be having a little bit of a giveaway today as well to celebrate that it's my 101st time. Stay right until the end so you can see how you can become part of that draw to win a lucky prize today. So welcome. I can see people are starting to log in. For me to see you on here live today, you are going to have to put something in the comments so that I know you're there, so that I know you qualify with all the other additional things that I may mention at the end of the session today for you to get that prize. So now's your time. Please go pop something in the comments. Either say hi, say where you're from. I can see Himan Paula. Fantastic. You're in. Wonderful to see you on here today. So if you don't say hi, I won't be able to give you a shout out and you can't enter the competition. So please put something in the comments, whether you're on Facebook or you're on Instagram, so that I can see that you are there. So I know you've already complied with one of the terms and conditions to win a prize today, which is really, really awesome. So 101st, I mean, that is a big milestone for me. That literally means I have been teaching every Thursday, giving you guys free education on these most powerful essential oils, plant botanicals that are supporting our bodies. And it's a very exciting milestone for me because it means I've been doing it for more than 2 years now already on this same time slot every single week on a Thursday. Bev is just logged in as well on Insta. Thank you so much for saying hi. Essential Daily Drops, you're in. Just gonna write that down. Yay, Judith, I can see you're in. Thank you for saying hi. And all of you that are obviously watching me live today is going to be something for you. So please stay right until the end, all right? So put in the comments that you're saying hi and then we can get going. I'm just writing down as we carry on, all right? So I can keep track of who's attending to today live. So it is episode 15 of my chemistry series. Now you may think, how the heck did we get to the 101st episode? Well, I have many series already. You can always go and catch it on the YouTube channel and go and subscribe to my channel, please. You can search for Tanya Botanicamy or you can just search for Tanya Uester. All of those will bring up my YouTube channel and then you'll go and find me to be able to subscribe to my channel, and therefore you'll be able to access all of my previous free continued education live series. There's gut health, there's talking about the singles, all those kind of things. So definitely go swing by my YouTube channel and go and subscribe. You'll also then get notified if I post a new video on there. So that's really exciting. Yes, Joanne, I know you are all the way from England. It's so good to have you all the way from the UK as well. All right, I can see Kim Putnam, you've also logged in. Really good to have you on as well. And Marie from Art Accent is in, and I can also see Catherine is on Instagram, so welcome. And as I go on, reminder, put in the comments where you're from or say hi so that I know you're there, because today we're having a very special draw. So we're talking about limonene and how appropriate. Limonene, I just want to keep on writing names down as people start saying hi. Remember, if you don't say hi, you can't go into my draw today. You've got to put something in the comments over there. Otherwise, I don't get notified that you're actually viewing. I just see eyes. There's this little icon at the top saying so many people are watching you, but I have no idea who you are. So limonene today for me was the chosen choice because limonene is one of those chemical constituents that's just absolute happiness, sunshine, and joy. And today, because it is my 101st episode, is a very happy and joyous day to me. So come and share in this absolute positivity and come and learn about this beautiful chemical constituent. There's some of you in my group here today that are already part of my Detox January challenge. It's a gut health and detox challenge, and you'll see there is a post on my Facebook as well as my Instagram feed with a really bright pink beetroot color of a smoothie, right? You can just sort of see the inside of the NutriBullet glass, and then you see this beautiful, vibrant pink smoothie. So go and check out that post because I'm going to be running a challenge every single month. There will obviously be a different topic every single month. But what you are going to have to do for me is, if you would like to be part on that waiting list for my February challenge, please just go and find that post on my feed after this live, and then go and put in there Feb 22, or just simply write Feb for February, and then I'll know I need to send you the link specifically to join that particular challenge. Right, I'm not going to let the cat out of the bag yet. You won't know what next month's challenge is going to be yet, but it's coming. Catherine is saying I look like beetroot today. Okay, I hope my face is not too red, but I am wearing quite a lot of red clothes, yes. Red is my happy color. So, and I'm happy today because, yay, I've been on Facebook and on Instagram, and I've been doing this every Thursday for more than 2 years now. So it's a happy day. Let's talk about this beautiful limonene. All right. Limonene is a monocyclic monoterpene. So what that remember what that means is monocyclic, one singular ring, and a monoterpene, so a singular ring, and it's a terpenoid, so a terpene. All right, that's one of the most abundant chemical constituents that you find in most essential oils. The monoterpenes are the small guys, and the sesquiterpenes are the big guys. All right, and that's obviously relevant to the chemistry, because that's how they're going to start reacting with the cells in your body, and we will talk a little bit chemistry about that in today's session specifically. So this is the guy. How beautiful is that? So I'm not going to be putting in the carbons and the hydrogens anymore, because then it goes back to front, and I don't know how to fix that, technologically challenged, right? So there we go, that's what it looks like. And that is the limonene molecule, the chemical constituent. And as a group, monoterpenes are antibacterial, antiviral, antiseptic, analgesic. It gives you a respiratory or decongestant benefits. It is a tonic for the body, a general tonic, and it also stimulates digestion. So it's a stomachic, all right? I can see there's more people logging in. Remember, if you do want to be going into today's draw, because it's the 101st episode, please go do something in the comments. You've got to have some kind of words or emojis or something there. I can see more eyes are logging in, but I don't know who it is. So just say hi. Or where you're from. All right. Maybe even go and put in there what your favorite citrus essential oil is. How's that for a starter? So limonene, specifically being a monoterpene, is a little bit more powerful, because it's got all of the monoterpene properties, but there's additional benefits. And amongst these, it is also going to add for you anti-carcinogenic properties. It's also going to give you, let me just check this whole list, antibacterial, as I mentioned, that comes with the monoterpene. I'm just going to write here, wellness with Nita really likes lemon, which is really amazing. So yeah, go put in there if you would like to tell us what your favorite citrus essential oil is. That'll be really wonderful, and then I can give you a shout out and put you into my draw as well. And over above what the monoterpenes have, it also is anti-convulsant, anti-infectious, anti-parasitic. It's also a nervine, which means it can calm the nervous system down. I'm one of those people that needs that quite often. And these oils, the limonenes, are what we call uplifting. So they fall, when you look at the emotional wheel of what the chemical constituents do, they are an uplifting chemical constituent. So they meant to inspire, to encourage, to exhilarate, and to refresh you. All right, so this is really, really exciting. Oh, I can see some more favorites coming through. Lemon, grapefruit, wild orange. Yes, those are all really, really at the top of the list of being utterly amazing. So let's talk about this emotional side, because there's an incredibly large amount of essential oils that actually do contain a high concentration of limonene, and some of them obviously that do have them in low concentrations. Believe it or not, it's not just the citrus oils, and we'll get into that today. Okay, great. Kobus van Tonner, you're in. Welcome. Good to see you on again. And how they work, obviously, with the limonene is they react with your brain chemistry. So the neurotransmitters in your brain are affected because you're inhaling this limonene component, right? And just below this bony part of your nose is where your olfactory nerve sensors sit. They pick up this chemical constituent and sends the messages to your limbic brain, and that is where it's going to have a positive effect, whether it's going to increase certain neurotransmitters that make you feel happy, whether it's going to be very supportive at decreasing occasional anxious feelings, that kind of scenario. That's all of that is happening within a couple of milliseconds, which is really, really powerful. Okay, I can see Zubaida's also just commented she really loves wild orange. I think wild orange is probably one of the most prolific ones that are on the top of the list of most people's citrus oils, because it is a really spontaneous and joyous oil. So let's talk spontaneous and joy when we look at the emotional side, instead of going into just one particular oil, because there's a lot of them that has more than 90% limonene in them. Let's rather talk about the positive attributes on an emotional level that the limonene molecule is going to provide to you. So the first word that comes up is joy, spontaneity, right? Fun, feeling fulfilled, lighthearted, making jokes, that kind of thing. Being very optimistic, abundance, having a sense of humor, feeling very nourished, generous. So let's be generous. Go and grab your favorite citrus essential oil if you want and have it in front of you. Just take a sniff and inhale. And instantaneously, I'm more generous, which is why I'm giving away this amazing prize today, because of celebrating my 101st episode. So just please remember, you've got to stay right until the end. So the first task you had to do to be able to go into this draw is to go and say hi or mention your favorite essential oil in the comments, so I know that you're there and that you're attending live and not watching this on a replay. All right, and then the rest of what you are going to need to do for me will be announced right at the end, so please stay until then. So limonene, as I mentioned, is found in very many essential oils, and it is usually thought of mainly being in the rind of a citrus fruit. Okay, and that's where we find them, but there are other plants and mints, for example, that do actually contain this limonene molecule as well. Even some of the frankincense, the boswellia essential oils have it in. So because of it being found in mainly citrus oils, it's like a comparative to other essential oils, it's quite a cheap way to be able to get the real thing. So it's through cold expression. Here we're not saying cold because they're actually putting colder temperatures during the processing in producing the volatiles into a concentrated format. Instead, it means cold because it's not steam distilled as most other essential oils. Remember, the volatile components evaporate into the air. They're very teeny tiny, and we've got to concentrate them because they're actually not in the plant in a very high percentage, and we do need to concentrate them to be able to get them into that bottle to be able to call it an essential oil. So from the citrus peel is where most people get the limonene from, but it's also produced industrially, right? So a chemical component is also produced on a lab scale or in an industrial scale, depending on what you want to call it. And because it is so incredibly fragrant, it is very, very much used in perfumes, household cleaners, and foods and medicines. And here, obviously, you're going to be talking about the synthetic version, not necessarily the pure natural one that's coming from the citrus rind. And this is quite interesting because the limonene structure, there's chirality involved here, right? Now remember, chirality means mirror images. In nature, it's producing the right molecule and the left molecule, R and S, okay? So they mirror images of each other. So the hydrogens and the carbons in both of these molecules are exactly the same. They're just a mirror of each other on that where's my circle? On that circular ring. Okay, and this is quite interesting. The R molecule, in other words, the R limonene, which is plus limonene, is also the one that has got that very distinct orange flavor, whereas the S molecule is the one that smells more like lemons. All right, so that's something that I found quite fascinating about these molecules. So the D limonene, or the R, which smells like the oranges, has been produced synthetically since 1995, I'd say, on a very large scale, and it has become a very sought after flavor in the fragrance, the cleaning, and the cosmetic industry. So obviously you do now understand that there's going to be quite a few adulterated oils as well, because if the limonene concentration is not to a suitable level in that particular oil that they've produced, they can always go and synthetically add it. So it's always a good idea, if you're going to be using these oils in any particular manner to support your body on a health and wellness journey, then it's a good idea to get a really pure essential oil that you know has not been adulterated. So it's not just citrus oils, okay, like the wild orange and the lemon, for example, that do contain this limonene. We also find it in black pepper, in celery seed, spearmint, and dill, just as examples. And as I mentioned, there's some of the frankincense, boswellia species also, but there's actually a very long list of essential oils that do contain it in various concentrations. So Cobus Fontaner is saying he sounds whether he was born with all those oils inside him already. I'm going to have to agree with that. I think Cobus is one of the happiest, joyous people I have met in my entire life. He's just always happy. So maybe we can go and get some Cobus essence, or we can just use some more of our essential oils. So limonene obviously plays a very big role in the industry, in pharmaceutical industry, in the food industry, and all over, and also very much so in the essential oil industry, because of the incredible wellness benefits that it leans to the body. So there's, if I just look at the Tangerine guide, for example, for health professionals, whereas some of these essential oil or chemical constituents usually have about a half a page, or maybe a page dedicated to one constituent, this one has about 4 or 5. Believe me, the writing is really, really small. There is an incredible amount of research that has been done on the limonene molecule, right? So I'm just going to highlight some of the most important ones that I find incredible, specifically relating to, for example, Detox Month, which is January. So internally, it is gastric acid neutralizing, all right, and it supports normal peristalsis. Now, that's a really good thing because we want peristalsis to happen in our gut. That's part of our gut health. And in order for us to continuously be able to detox naturally, our gut needs to be working really, really well, because otherwise we can't excrete any of the toxins or the waste products that our body either has produced or that has come in through our mouths, all right. So very, very incredible. And there's some research showing that it is very effective for heartburn, for example, and even a reflux disease. Okay. And this is because of the relaxing effect that it has. It also has an antispasmodic effect. So because monoterpenes, and this is where the mono versus the sesqui is really important, the monoterpenes are very, very small molecules. And they're also fat loving. So that allows an ability to actually pass through the cell membrane, which sits around your cells. The sesquiterpenes generally are bigger molecules, and they have an interaction with certain molecules on the outside of the cell membrane, and therefore there's a cascade of biochemical reactions that take place. But the monoterpenes especially have the ability to pass through that cell membrane to go and do the work that it needs to do. So they're small enough to pass, and therefore it is a really good essential oil or a chemical constituent in an essential oil to have some kind of wellness benefit in your body. And the experimental research has shown that limonene also supports healthy cellular function as well as protection, especially when we start looking at the organs such as the filtering, liver, kidneys, for example. So the liver, as you remember from one of my previous sessions, is one of the most important organs in your body because of the detoxification process that it actually runs for you, right? I can also see my hubby's logged in. That's interesting because he's flying today, which is really good. Hello, Herman. Good to have you on. All right, so the liver enzymes that are actually increased, right? So limonene increases the production of certain enzymes which we need in our bodies to detoxify our toxins. Now, this is where specifically the limonene for me is a very high priority chemical constituent to be using during a detox challenge, for example, because it supports the liver and it increases that specific enzyme group which you need to detoxify all of the toxins in your body. It also increases glutathione production, by the way, which is a very important antioxidant, scavenges free radicals, all right, and we need that so that we don't get certain kinds of damage in our body. So it really has an incredibly powerful effect in our body and is very supportive when we are going to try and gently put our body through a detox. We don't want hectic symptoms, please. Any kind of Herxheimer's reactions, those kind of things, you are definitely pushing too hard, all right? And then you're probably someone that needs to do this in collaboration with a medical professional so that you don't cause more harm than good. So when we look at specifically the safety of this oil, because yes, there are always safety concerns when you are working with incredibly potent and pure products, limonene is regarded as being not acutely toxic. So it's not an acute toxin. It's also not toxic to kidneys, for example, or even carcinogenic. It doesn't cause cancer in any of the studies that they have tested this specific chemical constituent in. But there is a warning, because limonene, when oxidized, right? So when you are not treating your products correctly, in other words, leaving your bottles open or putting it in the sun or exposing it to a lot of oxygen, basically what happens is the molecules start breaking down, and then their irritability index increases. So then you may run the risk, for example, of your skin becoming a little bit more sensitive. It can also cause airway irritation. And if you're going to be using a tested grade essential oil internally for detox, always close your bottles as quickly as possible after you've used that bottle, so that you don't run the risk of your chemical constituents inside there actually going through the entire oxidation process. So when we talk about irritation, always, again, I look at the very far end of all the articles and where things have been reported in peer-reviewed research. But here, for example, the severity of how much you would actually need to take in to cause a lot of damage. There's a study where they gave patients, I think there was between 13 and 20 male patients, 20 grams. Now, that's a lot of D-limonene, all right, which is the R-limonene, which is the one that we find in most of our essential oils. That caused diarrhea and a temporary increase in a certain protein that they detected in the urine, right? But this is showing you that you can actually use quite a lot, but please don't. It's not necessary. These oils are so very potent in adult doses, 1 or 2 drops, right? But if I can put that into perspective for you, because people are going to say, oh, but it can be so irritating. 20 grams, right? 1 drop of essential oil, 1 drop, is between 25 to 30 milligrams. Okay, so 20 grams is a very significant amount, okay? I think if you're going to eat 20 grams of any kind of medication, you're going to probably end up in hospital. My opinion, right? I can't justify that, but that just doesn't sound right to me, all right? So internally, obviously, do use your safety guidelines. Don't ever consume more than what the supplementation box on the side of the bottle says. And do not use an oil internally, please, if it says not for internal use, okay? Don't be silly. I can see more people are logging in, which is really cool. Please give me a shout out. You've got to put something in the comments to be able to qualify for today's draw for the, it's going to happen tomorrow, but to be able to qualify to get some shares in that draw that's going to be taking place, all right? Just on the safety side, yes, limonene has got a photosensitivity warning on it. What does that mean? Photosensitivity is the term we use generally to describe when you have a sensitivity to ultraviolet light, all right? So from sunlight, but also even fluorescent lighting that you would find, for example, in office buildings, shopping malls, those kind of things. I'm just going to write down. More people are saying hi. Ilse Gardner, very good to have you on. Rihanna, you're also on. Fantastic. Thank you. So basically, the photosensitivity here is a risk. Daniel wants to be in the draw all the way from the UK as well. We'll have to see what we can arrange for the European market. We'll get to that in a second, right? Photosensitivity is a risk here, especially if you're living in a sunny country like South Africa. So basically what happens is when you are going to be applying these essential oils dermally, please watch out and don't go and put it onto a place that you are going to be exposing to the sun within 12 hours after application. Because if you are going to become sensitive, right, you can develop things like rashes. They even say that people who already have a pre-existing condition called lupus, systemic lupus, for example, you could develop even worse symptoms. So things like joint pain, fatigue, other symptoms, cutaneous symptoms on the skin, fevers, rashes. So if you are already in a situation like that, it's especially important that you don't go and apply any of your essential oils dermally and then go straight into the sun that do contain the limonene. Okay, so that's that safety warning over there. But it's very good if you're just going to be putting it underneath your clothes where you're not going to be in the sun, for example. Under the feet is a really good place to put them. My first choice for using the citrus oils is in a diffuser because the emotional benefits are so incredible. And do remember, if you're going to be making low toxin cleaners for your home, so using things like vinegar and water and adding the essential oils because they're so antibacterial and they have really good degreasing and cleaning power, then you're going to get that aromatic component as well. All right, so lots of ways that you could be using these essential oils very effectively to support your mood, but also the detoxing. Okay, so let's talk about just in summary what all of this limonene is going to be doing for you. I can just want to check. There's a lot of people that logged in on Instagram. I can just see eyes. Please put something in the comments so I can see you there. All right, what is your favorite essential oil, for example, or where are you from? And then I'll know you're actually attending live. All right. So the topical use benefits, very good surface cleanser, all right? And it's also really good. They're showing that toothpaste containing, sorry, I'm talking too quickly. Toothpaste containing limonene may help remove stains from tooth enamel, all right? So you could, for example, put a drop of lemon or wild orange in your toothpaste. I really like adding wild orange and peppermint to my oil pulling regime in the mornings, and that's where you're basically swishing around coconut oil in your mouth for 20 to 30 minutes. It's an Ayurvedic technique, really helps me to decrease the stains on my teeth because I drink a lot of coffee and tea and red wine, all things that are not good for whiteness, okay? So I up the ante by just adding some citrus essential oil to that oil pulling regime as well. Internally, especially if you're using a medicinal grade or a pharmaceutical grade or a tested grade essential oil, very, very clever, that you are going to be using only those oils. If you're going to be using an oil that says not for internal use, not being clever, going to cause your body quite a lot of harm. But when you are using them internally, they can be very soothing to the gastrointestinal system because there's really good benefits, experimental research showing that it supports that mucous membrane. It also is very supportive to liver health and metabolism, and now we know it helps the body to the liver to increase certain enzymes, for example, that's going to increase the detoxing power, the enzymes we need to be able to detox. I can see someone, hang on, Monjoli, I hope I'm saying that correctly, on Instagram has just joined, and she's adding some comments in there as well. So we talked about the liver. Let's just check on the notes. The experimental research is also demonstrating, by the way, that ingestion of limonene may support the immune system. And here it's got a lot to do with that glutathione production because we need that as an antioxidant as well. All right, so very, very exciting research that is already available on limonene. When you're going to be using limonene, how can you make use of it? What is the easiest ways? Diffuser, all right? Citrus oils almost blend well with any other oil that you put in the diffuser, okay? It's just a really good combination to have. But if you're going to be making an all-purpose cleaner for at home, for example, you can always add a couple of drops of the essential oil to a glass bottle of water, filtered water. I like to add vinegar to mine. I usually do a Castile soap spray, especially on Caesar stone. It cleans it really well, but it leaves a white kind of deposit. And then I do the vinegar solution afterwards, which I know is going to thoroughly clean, decrease, and degrease, I should rather say, and take that white mineral deposit off. The vinegar is fantastic, except if you've got natural stone. So marmer, what is that in English? File 13 gone. Do not use it on countertops where you have natural stone. Okay, vinegar is not going to be good for that. You can use the oils, but not the vinegar. So you can add a drop to your glass of water when you are going to be supporting internal detox. Only 1 to 2 drops, please. Don't do more than that. Granite, yes, thank you, Joanne on Facebook. Yes, do not use vinegar on granite countertops. She was my thesaurus there at that specific. Granite and marble, okay, granite and marble, those are the natural stones. Please don't use vinegar on that. I really like having the thesaurus helpers here on Facebook commenting for me. I really appreciate you. Thank you, Judith and Joanne. So adding a drop to your favorite drink, 1 drop to a glass of water is a really good idea to support that internal detox. Remember also the limonene is really good for how your intestines work, okay? And you could always just add a drop to your toothpaste as well, because at the same time of it being in your mouth, you are going to have some kind of absorbability over there, but it's also going to help with the stains on the teeth. Or do like I do, put it in an oil pulling technique, all right? And you can just go and Google how to do oil pulling. I prefer coconut oil. A lot of people do it with sesame oil. There's many oils that you can do it with, and then you just add 1 or 2 drops of essential oil to that swishing. All right, so that's very exciting. Now, limonene goes beyond cleansing. You can see there's very many benefits. So if you're going to be choosing between all the different oils, Tangerine, 80 to 99% of limonene. That's very, very high. It's called the oil of spontaneity, all right? Tangerine is therefore a really good one to use if you want to be spontaneous and really up your mood. Grapefruit, 90 to 97%, and this is an oil that helps you to honor your body. So it's an oil that's very routinely mentioned when you are including it in some kind of detox or weight management support system or lifestyle. Wild orange, 80 to 97%. Oil of abundance, fantastic. Yes, we all need that. green mandarin. Now, this is an oil that is not available from my favorite brand in South African market yet, but I do know that the Europeans do have access to this oil. Actually, I have imported the green mandarin because it's one of the only citrus oils that is not photosensitive, because the fruit is still green, right? That component hasn't formed yet that is going to cause the photosensitivity. It still has limonene, but there's another component in there, so it's less in the photosensitivity. So that's the one that I use as a makeup remover with some good carrier oil, for example. Judith, off to the school run, no stress, I've got you on. All right, Judith, please go subscribe to my YouTube channel in the meantime, and you can share this live or tag someone in the comments, and then you've got some of the components already to get a share into the draw. Drive safely. All right, so then we're going to go for the green mandarin. As I say, not always routinely available, but it's a really nice one. I think this is my husband's favorite citrus oil in the whole wide world. He absolutely adores this oil. 63 to 85% limonene, lemon, 50 to 75. It's called the oil of focus, so it's a really good one to put in a diffuser. So it's going to give you the upliftment, but it's also going to help you focus during periods where you need to study, for example. So really good for kiddos. Lime, 40 to 70%, energizes. It's called the zest of life oil. I wonder why. Bergamot, 20 to 55. This is the oil of self-acceptance. So it's also a really good one to get the limonene together with all the other molecules that are in there, because it's also going to support the production of oxytocin, neurotransmitters in your brain, hug hormone. Okay. Celery seed. Celery seed is not a citrus, but yet it is high in limonene, 50 to 75%, and it's very detoxing. So it's a really good one to include in a detox journey. Dill, oil of learning, 30 to 55% limonene. Spearmint, 5 to 30. It is the oil of confident speech. All right, so that's a really good one to put on your throat chakra, for example, before you go and say a speech, or you've got to do like quite a stressful talk with someone. It's a good one to have by you. And then black pepper, 9 to 25%. It's called the oil of unmasking, and it's very routinely used in protocols where people are trying to break some kind of addiction. Right, so you can see, oh my goodness, how many properties, how amazing is limonene. So let's get to that giveaway. We're already 33 minutes in. Sorry, this has been an incredibly long one. So number one, you've got to like my social media pages. So I am Botanicamy on Facebook and on Instagram, and also on YouTube. You need to go and subscribe to my YouTube channel, please. All right. Please tag someone in the comments, either on Instagram or on Facebook, or share this live with someone that you know is going to benefit from getting this free education. All right, those are the requirements. And then I'm going to, for all of those things that you've done, you're going to get a certain amount of shares into my circle of names. I'll be running that draw probably around 1 o'clock tomorrow afternoon, and then I'll be announcing it. At this particular moment in time, the competition is open to South African residents only. I might be able to make a plan if there is a European winner. All right, so don't stop from doing the things. Please still go and enter, add all your things, and then maybe you're the lucky winner of my favorite citrus essential oil, which is, of course, did you guess it? Wild orange. And now it's going to be the other way around because I don't know how to flip the wording. There we go. Wild orange. You will win a bottle of wild orange from me in that draw. So thank you for joining today. I hope I see you all again next week, Thursday, for my next chemistry live. Today was episode 15. I reckon there's about 3 or 4 left until the chemistry series concludes. So please do come back and join. If you've missed any of the previous episodes, do remember to go and subscribe, and definitely go and check back on all the previous series that are on my YouTube channel as well. Where do you find me on YouTube? Simply go onto Google and say Tanya Jooste, YouTube or YouTube Botanicamy. All of those should be able to get you to my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for joining. See you all soon. Bye-bye.